Good morning everybody and welcome to Two Wheel Quest. Discover the world with me. Hello everybody and welcome back to Two Wheel Quest. Let me tell you where we are today. We are in Edinburgh and we're starting from here. It's 3 degrees in the morning, 3 degrees centigrade, and it's pretty cold, colder than we have started the last few days. But we're looking forward to the ride. We don't see any other problems because the forecast says it's partly cloudy, and we are hoping that will hold. As long as it doesn't rain, we are good. I mean, 3 degrees is fine. I'm sure it'll get warmer as we go through up to the day. So we're starting from here and we are headed into the Cairngorms National Park. Let me show you where we are going. So let's get back to the map. We are in Edinburgh right now and we are starting off from our hotel room, and Edinburgh is here. Edinburgh is here. We're heading north and we're headed towards Balmoral Castle, which is the summer residence of the royal family, and it's somewhere here. So this is the Cairngorms National Park. We head up there. We will finish up tonight somewhere here and then closer to Inverness, and then after that we will head further north. From tomorrow we will head into what is called the NC 500 or North Coast 500, which is a 500 mile loop around the north of Scotland here and goes right round and comes back. Well, that's after tomorrow, so we'll see you from the Balmoral Castle. Okay. All said, we are at 3,690 miles. That's what the odometer is showing. Starting off from Edinburgh, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. 4 degrees. Not very bad. Looks bright and sunny. We meant to start at 7:30, but by the time we finished our checkout, got all our stuff loaded on the bikes, it was another half an hour. Getting an early start is so important because we've got about a 6-hour ride today. Distance wise it's not really much, but since we're going through the Cairngorms National Park, chances are that it'll be quite slow going, and we'll be stopping quite a bit here and there, get some pictures. If we can get a drone out, that would be nice. The Cairngorms National Park is where the Balmoral Castle is, so if the royal family finds it a home for summer, then I'm sure it must be spectacular. Can't wait to leave the city, really. Just love the countryside. We'll be skipping Inverness completely. We're going close towards Inverness today, but we'll be skipping it because we don't want to do any more cities, castle or no castle. These are the impressions that I had of Edinburgh. The roads are terrible in the city centre. They're either undergoing construction or they are very bumpy. They are in bad shape. A lot of places there is a major construction work going on, so you have to struggle between cars and people coming across at you. And the other places, it is we filter through and manage to get past. I think if you're in a car, it would be really, really difficult. It's a combination of traffic and very narrow, poor roads. Otherwise, parking is quite good because you can find free motorcycle parking pretty much everywhere. It says solo motorcycles only, so that means you can park motorcycles without a sidecar, and they are for free. So even near the Royal Mile, we managed to find parking for free. I mean, that's a big deal really, because that's the main walking district or walking road on the Old Town area. But we're happy to get away. I've got a full tank of fuel and I'm looking forward to 3-4 hours of riding on country roads. Another maybe 2-3 miles I'll be out of Edinburgh city. I'm really looking forward to that. It's freezing cold. Stop for a coffee and just got one from this convenience store. We're about 50 miles away from Edinburgh now. Been riding for about an hour. It's really cold. I think somebody said that there is no bad weather, there's only bad clothing. And I think that's pretty true, at least in my case. The weather is actually very good. It's bright sunshine. but I'm still freezing, and on the bike it is otherwise my upper body is fine. On the bike it is a bit of a problem when I'm riding because the gloves are not really up to it. These are waterproof Gore-Tex and all that, but it still doesn't keep the wind away from it, so that's what's cutting into it. So I have 2 pairs of gloves and I'm swapping them out every half an hour to see if that would at least give me some relief. And also, of course, you got to stop to take a leak very often because of the weather, but we're enjoying it. We just stepped off the A9 motorway, just heading towards a place called Perth. We just stepped off to see a distillery here. The motorways are very, very good, but I don't like them very much because everybody goes at about 70 miles an hour, and you don't want to do that. See, Scotland's oldest distillery, the Famous Grouse Experience. So we thought we would do the Famous Grouse Experience. We are at the Glen Distillery, where they've been brewing single malts since 1763. This is a Highland malt, and they use this malt in the Famous Grouse whiskey. This is a 11-pound visit. Takes about an hour, the tour, and I think you get to drink a little bit. Scotland's oldest working distillery. Now they sell their whiskey under the brand Glen. Of course, they've been selling the same earlier as well under Glen, but a lot of the whiskey used to go into Famous Grouse. I wanted to visit this place for 2 reasons. Of course, the fact that it is Scotland's oldest working distillery is the main reason. The other is that I've personally contributed a lot to this distillery's profits. I've drunk a lot of Famous Grouse over the years, so I need to see where it came from. Good morning. Is the tour on, or it's... What time does it run? From what time to what time?
We're normally 10:30 to 3:30.
10 to 3:30.
So they're like every hour.
Oh, so can we do the tour now? I mean, in the next 15 minutes or?
I'm afraid no, we're fully booked today.
Oh, you are. It's one of those days, I guess. Can you just tell us a little bit about it?
Yep, so we are obviously the oldest distillery in Scotland.
Yeah.
From 1763.
Distilling at these premises.
Just here.
And it was called the Glen Turret.
Glen Turret. It used to be 1775.
Yeah. My English and Scottish is not very good, so I find it difficult sometimes to understand Scottish English.
Yeah, my accent.
No, that's okay. I mean, I have to learn to live with it. It's not the other way around. And what's a Famous Grouse Experience? What's that about?
So we used to be owned by Edrington.
Okay.
So they own Macallan and Highland Park and a few others.
Right.
So we apparently don't produce enough whiskey for them.
Oh, I see.
So they didn't want us. So they put us on the market, and we were bought by the Leap.
Okay.
So they do, it's like French Crystal. We have a boutique through there.
Okay.
So we were bought by them until 2019.
Yeah.
And it's made the world of difference to us.
Okay. So you're saying that it was called the Famous Grouse at that point?
We made our own, so we made Glen Turret whiskey as well, but most of ours was going into the Famous Grouse blend. We did still have our own, it was just most of it was...
Right, so the Famous Grouse blend, where is that being blended from? Where is that done?
Well, there's a few distilleries that do the Famous Grouse, and it all goes into it. I'm not sure exactly the exact places, but it's no longer us. Okay. So it's like most of the whiskey produced from here goes into the blend. It used to.
Okay,
but now all our whiskey is the Glen Turret. It's all ours now.
Fine.
Which is good for us.
But it is Scotland's oldest working distillery.
Oldest working distillery.
Yeah, like the Bushmills is the oldest Irish distillery.
Yes, but we're the Scottish ones.
Okay, so it's good to be here then. So we are looking at a piece of heritage. I mean, like serious whiskey making heritage here.
Yeah. So
do they actually make this much Scotch whiskey? Every bar in the world, every duty-free shop?
Yeah. It's all Scotland,
No, I sometimes think that there are parts of the world where they make their own Scotch whiskey, I would think, because it's a ridiculous amount of whiskey that's drunk every moment. Can Scotland possibly produce that much?
We can produce it, and we're producing more and more, because we're going through a refurbishment as well, which is going to eventually, in about 2 or 3 years' time, double our production. Okay. Actually, we're very, very lucky with the regulations that clearly defined Scotch whisky has to be made in Scotland.
Right.
So we are protected.
But you can't stop people locally making Scotch in other countries, of course.
You can't stop people making whisky, and there's nothing wrong with this. Some fantastic whiskies from all around the world.
Absolutely agree with you. Is there any way to authenticate a bottle of Scotch, saying it did come actually from the distillery?
Obviously, it's very difficult. There could be certain fraudulent things, in the same way that champagne could be made fraudulently, whether your jacket could be made fraudulently. If people want to try and do that, then they'll certainly try and do that.
Okay.
Obviously, there is more and more things that we're starting to do, whether there's UV labeling on bottles, there's obviously things are sealed, etc.
Okay.
But there's certain going to be
okay, so counterfeiting will always take place.
Counterfeiting will always take place from high-end places.
That's probably because you're making some good stuff that people are counterfeiting, so you should be proud of yourself. That's a 30-year-old, 1,700 pounds. I have to leave my motorcycle behind and go off with the bottle. Saw this board for a distillery, Perth Distillery. Seems like a small local distillery, so we thought we'll stop by and take a look. Let me see what this distillery is about. Because the big industrial scale distilleries are huge tourist attractions as well. Maybe sometimes these little ones are a lot more fun. We are on the Balmoral Road. About 40 miles more to Balmoral. Yeah, hi. So we just saw the board saying distillery and we thought we'd just pop over and see what it's about, because we've been to those big industrial distilleries. Then we saw the little one and we said, what's going on?
Yeah, so we're gin rather than whiskey.
Gin and whiskey?
Just gin.
Oh, just gin. Okay. Oh, it's a gin distillery. So do you sell it in shops and stuff, or only here?
In shops as well. We don't do supermarkets, but we sell it on a much smaller scale.
Okay, so it's mostly within Scotland itself?
Scotland and England and Ireland.
Okay. And so how much do you produce?
So it varies. Annually, maybe 100,000 bottles.
Okay. And the bottling is also done here? But you don't have a tour or something, do you?
We do, but it's not running today, I'm afraid, because we're busy on the still today, so there's no tour.
Ah, so that's a still?
That's the still.
Okay, can we just take a look?
Yes, of course you can take a look.
Yeah, thank you. This is where the magic happens. Phil is a hybrid still with a pot and column, chosen because it's perfect for making any strong spirit without risk of flavor cross-contamination. That's a bucket load of happiness, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
This is a family business?
It is, yes, my wife and I.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You have qualifications in distilling, or?
Yeah, I did, yes, I did the exams in distilling.
Okay.
And so we started in 2014, and still was installed in early 2016. So
okay.
Distilling commercially since then.
Earlier, was this a distillery, or what was this?
No, that was built as a hotel in 1750.
Oh, you're kidding me! 1750?
1750, and this was a stable, so this is where they changed the horses.
I see. So that was like an inn or something like of that nature.
Yes, that's right. In 1745, the rebellion of the Jacobites, Scots Jacobites, was defeated on a battle of Culloden, further north. And the English king decided that it would be a good idea if any remaining recalcitrant Jacobites, little uprisings here and there, could be crushed.
Right.
So two generals of the army built a network of roads in Scotland.
Okay.
And this is one of the roads that was built by a General Caulfield.
Okay.
So that if there were any kind of rebellion.
Right, so they could suddenly move troops across. Okay, yeah.
And so those roads required Inns.
Yeah, okay, that's how this came up. Okay, so have you been in this family, or is this?
Yes, yeah, we used to farm over that side of the Glen.
Okay, but the innkeeper or the original? No,
I only bought this in 2014.
Okay,
So,
okay,
yes,
yeah, great, fantastic. Are you Phil by any chance?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, that's
I'm
Phil.
Simon.
Okay, Simon.
Holly.
Okay, hello, Holly. Hi. Yeah, are you family too?
No.
Okay.
She's nearly family. She started working for us 2 weeks ago.
Okay, you're getting there slow and steady.
Inculcating herself into the family.
Yeah.
The English word gin
Yeah.
is actually a contraction of a Dutch word. The Dutch word being Geneva or Geneva, which means juniper.
Okay,
So the one thing that all gin has in common is juniper berries.
I see.
And so they're a type of pine cone, about that size.
And is this place like, do you get a lot of supply of that, or does it come from somewhere else?
We have some of our own from Scotland, and most of it comes from Macedonia
Okay,
in Europe.
North Macedonia.
I don't know, actually.
Yeah, because there's Macedonia where Alexander the Great was born,
Yes.
but that's within Greece, so which is why Macedonia is called North Macedonia.
There's that big row about.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this North Macedonia is just next to Albania,
Yeah.
and between former Yugoslavia, actually.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the place. Okay, great. It's a great afternoon to be at a gin distillery, and but since I'm riding, I can't do that. So 20 CL is 15 pounds. Wow. Yes, sorry, Simon. Yeah.
Anything else I can help?
No, that's fine. I've got the process here, and so you take the juniper, put it in the pot, crank up the generator to heat the still.
Yeah. So everything goes in the pot.
Okay.
All the ingredients.
Okay.
The ingredients vary.
Raw.
Gin we're doing.
They go in raw first. Yeah. As not crushed. Oh, the first you crush it with the piss.
No, things like I use black cardamom. I use mace blades in one of my gins.
Oh, okay.
The green cardamom, and I use a pestle and mortar.
Okay.
So I crush them up a bit. Just opens up the
Flavors. Mm.
and then they macerate in there for a wee while.
What's macerate?
Soak, steep.
Okay.
Just
Steam soaked.
absorb it.
Okay.
Yes, but cold.
Okay. Cold.
Cold. So in a mixture of water and high strength ethanol.
Right.
So that's what that is. And then we bring everything to the boil very, very gently, very slowly.
Okay.
Because you can't force it. If you force it, if you try and force distillation, the vapor will drag with it
Okay.
heavier molecules that you don't want.
Okay.
So the idea is you do it nice and gently. You get a lot of reflux, so you get the spirit effectively is going round that cycle quite a lot, or that way around. It's going up the pot, bottom of the column, up the column, back down the column, back in the pot. So you get a lot of it's called reflux, which is evaporation, condensation.
Right.
And that means you get a nice pure spirit. It takes about 6 hours to distill.
Okay.
So you get one distillation in a pot,
Yeah.
and that works a bit like a fractionating column in an oil refinery.
Yeah. Okay.
You get 5 distillations in the column, one in the pot. So you
Okay.
get a very well distilled product at the end of it.
Okay.
And then all our gins sit in big steel tanks
So-
for several weeks.
So this gin that's coming out, is it ready for? No.
We will sit on it for several weeks.
I see.
It doesn't change chemically because it's anaerobic in these big johns. But something happens physically to the liquid. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
But you'll be able to taste the difference.
Okay.
Mouthful.
So you're the official taster as well.
I like tasting it.
So it's your own recipe. What you put in is entirely your business. Yeah. And that's your secret.
That's our secret.
Oh, I'll have to squeeze it out of you.
I could tell you, but I have to kill you.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, Holly.
They're both two bestsellers.
Okay, then I'll take which is a flavor which is spicier. That's
The spicy one's the Spaniel. If you like spice, you should go with Spaniel. This one's my favourite, actually.
okay.
It's got nutmeg and cinnamon.
Right. That I'll try that then.
That's the spicy one.
Thank you very much. How is this drunk? I'm sorry to ask you a stupid question,
This
but
one, well, what I'll do, if I give you this, it
Yeah.
tells you tonic or ginger ale or tomato juice.
excellent.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's the different ways. Okie dokie. That's £15 for that, please. That's lovely, thank you.
That's a day well spent for me.
And I love this one. You'll really enjoy this.
Okay, yeah. It beats the hell out of going into Balmoral Castle and seeing just the ballroom for £15.
No, this is much better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that is Perth Distillery. I bought myself some gin, Spania gin. A roadside inn in 1760. It's a 270-year-old house, and that used to be the stables where now they have the distillery going, the gin distillery, Perth Distillery. Well, interesting. Narrow road all by myself. Curving and nice. Snow in the distance. Couldn't ask for anything better. This is what you see in the movies. Oh, the snow in the distance, beautiful road, my little baby, and a nice stream flowing by. Scotland at its best. If you're entering the Cairngorms National Park, wow, look at that. Oh, what happened? This place burned down?
4 days ago.
4 days ago?
Yeah, it was my third day here. I woke up to the sound of the gas tank exploding.
Wow.